Hey, further east, Gunmetal, further east, he's running. We have multiple personnel in sight.
Here, troops in contact at this time.
We squad 7 lead vehicle are taking fire on primary and secondary positions, requesting immediate engagement and overhead control. Engage.
Look at that fish! Yeah! Whoa! Eagle, get on the ground! That's up! Are you kidding me right now? Air Force! You knew it, Air Force! Yeah! Yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah! Yes! Boom, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Well, that's what I'm talking about! Boom!
This is Force on Force, a bracket-style tournament featuring the branches of our military head-to-head on the water. The site is Toledo Bend Reservoir on the Texas-Louisiana border. The commander for this operation is Lieutenant Colonel Cody Robertson. Each battle begins in the TOC, the Tactical Operations Center, set up lakeside, where Lieutenant Colonel Robertson delivers the rules of engagement for the day. Let's meet today's competitors. Alpha Team is led by Cole Brewer from the U.S. Army. A past champion from Season 5, he is joined this year by Marine bass angler Randy Gardner. Bravo Team is led by Don Brunson, a three-time competitor on Force, teamed up this year with newcomer Dante Gray. As is the tradition of Force, the teams put their boats on the shore to first enter the TOC and get their orders from Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Cody Robertson.
You guys want me to come catch him for you?
No, you ain't got to catch him for me, because I can show you where to go now before we get there, because you're going to need some help. I promise you're going to need help, brother. You are not going to be able to do it today.
All right. Ho. Welcome back to Season 7 of Force on Toledo Bend. Ho. You'll be fishing for a national championship. Your name on this trophy forever, and NFL-sized championship rings will be awarded to each one of the anglers to take home the national championship. At this time, we'll conduct the rules of engagement for this operation. It will be a 5-fish limit, 14 inches. 4 hours to conduct your operation. You'll have your basic load, which consists of BioBore EB's basic load. It's loaded down with Impact Jigs and Strike King products for this operation. You'll have Liquid Mayhem, Wiley X, Impact Jigs, Dermatone, Ruck Pack energy drinks, and BioBore to fuel all the boats. And last but not least, Lew's rod and reel combos, 6 of them for each of your boats for this operation. That will require you to work as a team to figure out which pattern and which rod the individual on your boat's going to use at any given time during this operation. And then last but not least, the weather. We've got some severe weather coming in during this operation. Maintain safety out on the water. The TOC will continue to provide information as needed. Bring it in for your G2 Intelligence Lake Report.
Here is your G2 Toledo Bend Lake Report. Now, much of the weather patterns for this event will involve the oncoming Hurricane Harvey. Prefrontal conditions abound. Temperatures will start off in the mid-70s and work their way up into the low 80s. Right now, the winds are light and the barometric pressure is steady for now. And if an oncoming hurricane is not enough to get the attention of the anglers, here's some additional insight into the unique qualities of Toledo Bend.
A lot of lakes have been cleared of all the timber and everything that's in a lake. Well, they had originally planned to do that with Toledo Bend way back in the day when they dammed it up, and then they had this humongous flood the year they dammed it, and this lake filled up within about 5 or 6 months. And so they didn't get to timber it all. And so this lake literally has timber everywhere. And so they've cleared lanes, like driving on a highway, so that you can drive your boat through on this lake. If you get about 20 yards outside of those lanes and you're in 30 feet of water thinking everything's happy, fine, and dandy, and now you're going to run over the top of trees that have been sitting in this lake for 30 years that are petrified, like concrete. That's the reason why you have to run these boat lanes. You can't get out of them. If you get out of them, you can seriously have and not only can you hit something that can really damage the boat, it can really damage you, because it can be dangerous.
Do you guys have any questions at this time?
No, sir.
You guys have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, shake hands and let's fish.
Do you need us to push that off?
You want to help us push off that gray? I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know, you. Hey.
Them old muscles don't work all that well, do they, Don?
No, but they do catch a lot of fish, brother. Something that you ain't gonna see today.
Help you can get.
You know, cause I mean, I'm even driving further than you are, and I'm still gonna catch more fish, okay?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Spanking it. Smack, smack, smack.
Let's get
Be
'em.
safe, brother.
You too.
Bravo team is heading north and will use a sizable amount of fishing time getting to a spot where Brunson has located fish. Alpha team is staying closer, hoping to use more of the trolling motor than the big motor. The strategies will be diverse, and so will be the results.
Spot, look at them all. You see them?
Yep.
I mean, they're stacked.
Yep, right there off that ledge.
Yep.
And
All right,
up
man.
on top.
So we're gonna do it. Let's get after it. They're here. 4 hours, short amount of time when you're.
Yeah, that's not a whole lot of time.
Nope.
We just got here about 8:30, 8:35 in the morning. Got 4 hours to fish, so we got to be back by about 12. Took us about 30 minutes to make this run because the weather was not as cooperative as I thought it was going to be. Fishing a long ridge, just pushing out into the lake right here. Kind of throwing up on the top of the ridge. It's got some structure on it. I'm trying to fish that structure as well. Letting the wind kind of drift me back. Trying to hold the boat as the wind pushes us back. Hold us up on this thing, let the wind drift me. And just work this worm. This little KVD worm I got on here, 8-incher. Let's see if we can get something to bite. Fish on. I'll swing, don't worry. Little guy, he'll measure. I got him. I'm gonna relax, big boy. I need you to close your mouth. Relax, girl. Close your mouth. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. About 14 and a half. That's a keeper. That's starting her out. Let's get her weighed up. That's 1.23, 25, 1.27. 1.27.
Force on Force is brought to you by Skeeter Boats, by Lowrance, by Hook, Line, and Barbecue, and by Underwater Green Fishing Lights. Welcome back to Force on Force. This first round matchup is not only a battle of fish, it's a battle of wits. Bravo team took a risk and spent much of its 4-hour fishing time traveling to the north part of the lake. It didn't take long to see some positive results.
You know, we had a lot of guys come out and do a lot of pre-fishing, and they're saying, oh, there's no fish in this freaking lake, it's fishing hard, I can't catch a fish, yada, 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 yada. I said, okay, guys, yeah, I do whatever. Talking about this morning, me making this run, oh, you gonna run all the way up there? I said, yeah, I'm gonna run all the way up there. I'm catching fish up there. Oh, you ain't gonna catch nothing up there. These guys up there ain't caught a thing. We've been up there, ain't caught a fish. I'm like, yeah, okay. Been here 10 minutes. 1.27 in the boat. And that won't be the last. Another fish. Little Kentucky. All right, I need you to go home and tell Mama that the big bad man above you hurt your mouth. I need to see her.
There you go.
Got him?
That's how you set a hook.
Get some, baby.
I hope.
Well,
Might not be a keeper.
you're not gonna measure for it. Another one?
Yeah, a little
guy.
ding. Little one.
In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm sitting here following my Lowrance electronics, trying to stay on the same trail and track where I've been fishing, keep this boat in the same area. On that graph, all of this is bait fish up in here, but all that movement is this boat going up and down because that's how rough the water is. I've got a waypoint set, but the waypoint actually was a little bit off where these fish are today. So that's what, that's fishing because you got to kind of move where the fish are moving to on the point. And so now I'm trying to move back up to that same area where Dante caught that first one. I caught that first one. Now we'll go back through and see if we can pick up a little more size. Because I'm seeing bait fish, tons of them on my depth finder, and fish on the bottom. So what I'm trying to do is get the fish on the bottom, because that's the bass laying there waiting on the bait fish to go by so they can eat.
Meanwhile, on the south end of the lake, Alpha Team is trying to zero in on the big fish.
It's kind of the nice thing about this is it could be a brim, it could be a crawfish or something like that. So get a little bit of both, just kind of shake it in front of their face and finesse them into eating instead of trying to make them eat something huge. So where we at? Yeah. Got him. Feels like Kentucky bass. He is. Not gonna do it, man. Not gonna do it.
Both teams are catching fish, but neither is finding the right size. So far, only 1 hour in, Bravo Team's £1.25 fish is the only keeper on the scoreboard. And in a 4-hour tournament where every minute counts, it's easy to get a little aggressive.
There's. Nope, come on. I want to tell you all something. When he sets the hook, I'm surprised there's anything left of a fish, because I mean, he puts the wrath into them. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Force on Force is brought to you by Strike King, by BioBore, by Lose, and by Scent Blaster.
Military has definitely done me wonders. I wasn't like Cole. I mean, I looked at the Army, stuff like that, but I kind of looked at it as like, hey, I want to go the real branch. I want to be the one that walks around, hold my head up high, that type of thing. And I ended up in the Marine Corps, and I had a whole family of Marines, and I was back and forth with Marine Corps and the Army. One would offer this, one would offer that. I actually started college first, and I wasn't mature enough for it. And I got to a point where I was like, well, I either go work in a factory or, I'm gonna be gone. And so I didn't tell my family or anything. I just went in and went back and forth with the Army and Marine recruiter, and was like, yeah, I know where my heart's at. I know where I need to be. And I ended up signing with the Marine Corps and called up my dad. My dad was a Marine as well, and like I said, there's several of us through my family that were all Marines. Called him up, said, hey, I need you to run with me into town. And we go up to the recruiter, and he kind of looked at me real funny, and I walked in. He's like, hey, you ready to ship? My dad goes, are you serious? And I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. So we said our goodbyes, we did our thing. And honestly, it was the best thing for me to ever do, because like I said, I tried college. I just wasn't mature enough for it. I wanted to party, I wanted to do my thing. And I was an 18-year-old kid making dumb mistakes. And
I started out as an ops guy, infantry, all that business. About halfway through my career, when I was a pretty senior major, about to make lieutenant colonel, got the tap on the shoulder and said, hey, we need to send you to Iraq. And so I went over there with a medical task force, spent a year in country, entertaining place. Saw a lot of bad stuff. So when you're with the medical guys on that side of the fence, you kind of get to see as a mentor of mine said one time, you get to see the horror of war, and it's not pretty.
I was pretty heavy in high school. I was like 301 my senior year, so when the recruiter called me, I didn't want him to bug me, right? Because I'm thinking, I'm not going in the military. I said, man, I'm overweight. He goes, that's okay, that's all right, man. He's like, we can get you down. How tall are you? I said, I'm 6'2". He's like, oh man, you could be like 201 pounds. I said, yeah, I'm 301. He goes, hey man, give me a call if you ever lose some weight. I said, sweet.
We're all just giving something back to some of our compadres who've had issues. They might have PTSD, returning back from various deployments, or could have been injured in combat. And it's always good to look out for others. We're all veterans, that could be us.
Our teams are trying to figure out Toledo Bend in a short period of time. 4 hours is all they have to find the fish, catch the fish, and bring in more than the other team. So far, Bravo team Don Brunson and Dante Gray have one small keeper.
Use your time as wisely as possible, because in this format, we only have about 4 hours to fish. Normally you got all day, and so we don't have that. That's kind of what makes this a little more challenging for us. And so, You got to be really, really efficient. Try to manage that time as well as catch fish within that short time window that you have.
They also have another competitor of sorts in mind.
We're out here at Toledo Bend, the Louisiana-Texas border. Right now, it looks like we're fishing on the Texas side. They have a hurricane brewing in the Gulf of Mexico. Looks like it's going to be coming up and around in the horseshoe right around Corpus Christi area. I'm guessing that might have a little bit of effect on these fish. Hopefully, one or two of them still want to bite and they're not getting lockjaw because of the high pressure system that's coming through.
And then begins a flurry of activity in the final hour for Bravo team. The next 20 minutes would decide this first round matchup.
Get the net. Never mind, I'm gonna swing. Move.
Come on.
He felt better than that. Now, right now I'm measuring this fish to make sure he's 14 inches. I'm pretty sure he is, but I want to make sure, and I really don't want him back in the water on me either. Yeah, he is. He's about 15. 1.69. Get him, son.
That's how you set a hook.
Yes, sir, it is.
Notice the rod tip down.
That's
Keep
better
his head
fish,
down.
Dante. Get that baby here. Swing, brother. Nice. I thought he was a little bit better. We had that mouth open on us.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Watch out, brother. Coming to you.
That'll measure.
.65. These out. All right, big boy, go.
There's a good one.
About the same size, I believe. Trying to lose him. All right, so now I'm weighing the fourth fish. A little bit smaller, I think this guy's gonna be. These things are like twins. 1.65 again. Wow.
And just like that, in the waning moments of this first round, Don Brunson and Dante Gray seized control of this competition. Force on Force is brought to you by Fins, by Liquid Mayhem, by All Seasons Feeders, and by Ruck Pack. Welcome back to the final moments of Force on Force. Our two teams have fished for 4 hours. Neither knows how the other team has fared. Bravo team doesn't know that the Alpha live well is empty, so Bravo piles on.
He's a little better fish. Yep, he's a little heavier. Yep, he's a little heavier. 2 pound, 202.
Meanwhile, downstream in the southern part of the lake, more of the same.
Hey,
Finally,
look at there.
one in the boat, but
With the clock ticking away, neither team wants to be late, especially the one with all the fish. There are no weight penalties. This is the military. If you are late, you are disqualified. Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Cody Robertson doesn't play around.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Always waiting on the officers. Supposed to lead from the front.
Well, you know.
Evidently, you don't know how to do that.
Make
so.
sure that I don't hurt your feelings too bad today. You know, you were in that nicer, kinder, gentler Army. Did you work with the stress card thing? You know, when you were in the Army, they gave you a little stress card.
All right, bring it in, bring it in. Put your bowboard basic loads on the table, Hool. All right, congratulations. You made it through your first operation. You made it back safe and sound in a 4-hour block of time, Hool. With that said, we'll start off with Don Brunson and his team from Army Bass Anglers. Give us your after-action review.
Well, we started out, I was gonna fish the Texas side, and I made, as the driver and the boat captain, made a strategic error driving across the lake. Winds coming from east to west. I took the shortest route, which took us across the west side of the lake, and the Skeeter handled that water well, but had I stayed on this side, probably could have ran a little faster. So we get to our first spot. We catch one fish at that spot that's a keeper, 2 or 3 little small short fish. We move to our second spot. No keepers there, and I decided, I said, all right, look, we got to make this run out of this bad water. We got to go over the Louisiana side. I got a spot over there. I said, I'm pretty sure we can get a limit there. So let's go make the run. So we get over there. We've got about 45 minutes to fish because I know we've got at least a 30, 35 minute run back. And so we get there, forecast, stick one. Partner, stick one.
Nice.
Partner, I stick one. Next thing you know, 40 minutes later, we got a limit in the boat.
Nice. Oh.
8.26 pounds.
5 fish?
5 fish.
All right, oh, a limit, 8+ pounds. The pressure's on, champ. Cole Brewer, season champion. Walk us through your after-action review.
Well, you know, we FP'd from here, headed down south. I ran out towards the middle here down the main boat lane, decided, you know, that wasn't gonna cut it. It was pretty rough out there. We weren't gonna be able to fish our deep spot. So cut into a little creek that runs back in there, got a hump and a ridge back there. Pull up, nothing on the hump, pull over to the ridge, fish for about 30 minutes, finally get a bite, we stick one. So we're like, all right, we got one. So I'm like, we fish a little bit longer, maybe 30 more minutes, not really feeling it. Decide to cut towards the bank because I got some deep docks over there. Go to the bank, fishing for about 10 minutes, pull up on the dock, stick another one. So we got 2 now. Run around the corner, throwing square bill, you know, Strike King 1.5, catch another one. So then we moved around in a pocket, didn't really catch any, and made a tactical decision to move to another location, fish a little road bed that I had found some fish on, and went there, fished both sides of the road bed and the bridge, didn't get any there. So we ended up catching 3 today.
3 fish,
3
4?
fish, 0 pounds, none of them were keepers.
Oh, no. But congratulations, Don Brunson. Dante, you're moving on to the next round of competition. Take your BioBore basic load and move out and draw fire. Oh. Grab your basic load, get out of my tent. Oh.
Yes, sir.
So one of the early favorites, previous champion Cole Brewer and Randy Gardner, are eliminated early. Though he won season 5 on this very lake, Cole knows that's fishing.
I mean, you're gonna get disappointed a lot in fishing because you're dealing with something that's nature driven and they do their own thing. And you know, you just try and pattern them as best you can and make the best out of it, but it doesn't always work out.
Don Brunson and Dante Gray move on to the semifinals, where Don's old nemesis awaits.